Welcome to Movie Lover News, your number one movie show on earth. I'm your host, Tyron Rubin, doing the show with Alex, bringing you... Sorry, I've already said that. The number one show on earth. Movie show on earth. A film I'm going to talk about in this little episode is a film called Young Adult, which I'm really excited about. I have done a show on this before, not much major news, although a couple of people have started watching this film. People close to the director, I guess. A couple of reports have been out about this film and it's getting closer to the release date. There's no official release date, but it should be due out very soon. And I love the team behind this film. This film has been directed and produced by Jason Reitman and produced and written by Diablo Cody. It's the same team as the film Juno. The film Young Adult stars Patrick Wilson as Buddy Slade, Charlize Theron as Mavis Gary, J.K. Simmons as the narrator, Collette Wolfe as Sandra Freehauf, Elizabeth Reaser as Beth Slade, and Patton Oswalt. Young Adult stars Charlize Theron as a young adult novelist who returns to her hometown to try to rekindle the relationship with her high school sweetheart Patrick Wilson, who is happily married with kids. Jason Reitman is a young great director. He directed and wrote Up in the Air in 2009. He directed Juno, which Diablo Cody wrote, and he also produced Jennifer's Body in 2009, Jason Reitman, which Diablo Cody wrote, and Jason Reitman is also the writer and director of Thank You for Smoking, the film in 2005. Jason Reitman's been nominated a couple of times for Oscars. He was nominated for 3 Oscars in 2009. The film had a Best Picture nomination. He was up because he was producer of the film. He was up as Best Director for the film in 2009, Up in the Air, and he was up for Best Screenplay for the film Up in the Air, and he was also nominated for Best Director for Juno in 2007. As I mentioned, this team in of Diablo Cody and Jason Reitman, who worked together on Juno. Diablo Cody, who's the writer of this film, Young Adult, is also the creator and writer of the television series The United States of Tara, which I absolutely love. Patrick Wilson is the lead in this film as Buddy Slade. He can be seen in a film due out this year called The Ledge. He was in the horror last year, Insidious, and the comedy Morning Glory. Charlize Theron, who plays Mavis Gary, is also a producer on the film and is in a lot of huge films coming out at the moment. She's in Prometheus, the prequel to Alien, which is due out on the 8th of June 2012, which stars Michael Fassbender as David, Charlize Theron as Vickers, Noomi Rapace as Elizabeth Shaw, and it's being produced and directed by Ridley Scott, and Damon Lindelof is one of the writers, and Tony Scott is also producing that film, Prometheus. Also up for Charlize Theron in the not too distant future is Mad Max Fury Road with Teresa Palmer and Nicholas Hoult as the lead young character Nux, Zoë Kravitz, and George Miller is directing Mad Max Fury Road. Charlize Theron is in a massive film due out on the 21st of December 2012 called Snow White and the Huntsman. A huntsman is ordered to take Snow White into the woods and kill her, but instead he chooses to let her go, and the two are evidently chained together for part of the movie as they make their escape. It's been directed by Rupert Sanders, and it's Kristen Stewart as Snow White, and Charlize Theron as the evil queen. J.K. Simmons, who's the narrator on this film, Young Adult, has worked with Diablo Cody and Jason Reitman on most of their films. He was in Up in the Air, he was in Jennifer's Body, he was in Juno, and Thank You for Smoking. Collette Wolfe will play Sandra Freehauf. Elizabeth Reaser will play Beth Slade. She's been in all the Twilight films as Esme Cullen. She was in Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, and in the Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 1, which is due out on the 18th of November 2011 this year, and the Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 2 next year. Patton Oswalt is also in this film, plays Neil in United States of Tara, which Diablo Cody is creator and writer of, and he's great in that. He's a huge famous comedian, due out in a lot of interesting films coming out. Person who saw this film commented to Jason Reitman that it was quite a darkish film, this film, young adult, very different to the light-hearted Juno, and Jason Reitman's reply was, it's not in a charming Sweet Home Alabama kind of way, but in a Greenberg or Rachel Getting Married kind of way. Those are two films I've really enjoyed, Greenberg and Rachel Getting Married, so that's what he compares it to. Again, Jason Reitman's directed very interesting films. Thank You for Smoking, Juno, which I loved and was a huge hit, and Up in the Air. So I'm really excited for another film from Jason Reitman due out this year, being written by Diablo Cody, which seems a lot darker. Just because I'm in a good mood, I'm going to put this at about a 9.5 on my personal excitement meter. I just want a fresh comedic film that looks quite dark and different, and I really hope that Jason Reitman keeps making quality films. Thanks for watching Movie Lover News. I'm your host, Tyron Rubin, doing the show with Alex, together bringing you the #1 movie show on earth. Thanks.